Hello dear colleagues and welcome to this video for the Penability workshop. I really didn't know what to offer you in this video, so I decided to tell you a little story. This is the story of a person who lived in absolute poverty.
God, I am filthy rich!
But there's more kinds of poverty, and this was an intellectual poverty.
I have an intellectual quotient of 143.
Okay, this was the story of a man.
And I am actually a woman.
What the hell are you telling me? Whatever. This was the story of a person who felt some lack of sense in its life, so it decided to go on a journey in order to achieve consciousness.
I cannot imagine anything else I could want from life. And I am quite good at home.
Look, are you going to let me tell your story?
No.
Okay, let's try again. This is the story of a Arlequín who lived in poverty and wanted to take over the world. He was so serious about that. In order to achieve his goal, he went to see a sage person so he could tell him how to proceed. However, the sage person told him a load of abstract nonsense and easy catchphrases. Try hard, luck doesn't exist. At some point, the sage even began to criticize the Arlequín dressings and personality. Ow! The Arlequín knew he already was trying so hard. It was his purpose in life. Of course he was trying hard. Maybe he didn't understand the sage person's words, but that was a preposterous thinking, since the Arlequín's intellectual quotient was 143 points. So the Arlequín decided to go to another sage person, but it was always the same thing. When the Arlequín told them about his purposes, he always ran into the same answer. Take it seriously, you motherfucker. That had absolutely no sense, since there's nothing as serious as being a clown. Then the Arlequín realized that those people were obviously not sage people at all, and he could not get any knowledge from them. Those people were just gifted by circumstances of society, but the Arlequín never thought the way a society wanted him to think. Since he was young, he had the same intuition, which was confirmed at every step of his life. Fucking bourgeoisie! So he decided to follow his instincts, which they proved to be good, and look for another kind of sage people. Artists. However, industry had taken control of art, making artists become puppets of commercial interests, soaking their being away. That was totally the opposite of what the Arlequín expected from being an artist, and he couldn't stand it at all. He was just too selfish to allow its being to be soaked away. Of course, this is not the kind of selfishness you expect from fairy tales like the Selfish Giant or so, since the Arlequín understood selfishness as a very altruistic quality. It was the kind of selfishness that makes you want to be proud of yourself, and the result of it is making good to the world. That is how even a capital sin like pride can be used for good deeds. This inborn knowledge made the Arlequín realize about his lust for power and wisdom. Also, he wanted to gather a lot of allies, which could also be called greed. Of course, those allies were meant to be highly individualistic too, being them individuals in community, with both the benefits of being a community and being an individual. His hunger of artistic activity grew to an obsession or gluttony, always working in his projects tirelessly, and that gathering of capital sins made the Arlequín become a Satanist! No, just joking. It is true that the Arlequín liked Satanists, but he wasn't a Satanist himself. He believed in what he once read about Siddhartha saying one should be its own master, and that's what the Arlequín was. A very hard life indeed, but since the Arlequín was being true to himself, it was totally worthy. Every penny. Even if he was still living in poverty. Suddenly he ran into an interesting project on the net that pursued an independent and artisan-like way of art. He thought that project would be good for his ambitions of taking over the world as an artist, so he decided to make a trip to an unknown place, seeking adventure. What he found there, it is up to each one's imagination. And that was the story of the Arlequín. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe for more interesting videos. Bye!
Lumbe, lumbe, lumbe.
Y luego lo veo y diré...